All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Heart of the Volunteer Veterans Podcast. Hey, this is your Hump Day, episode 005. And ladies and gentlemen, we got Steve Perchak back on the show. Steve is back on the show. It's going to be fun. You don't want to miss it. Steve, welcome to the show, brother. How you been doing?
Great. Been rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah, man. So, dude, what's been going on, brother? What have you been up to, man?
Oh, just working my ass off and playing a lot of golf. And through a graduation party had like 60 people show up and no alcohol. That was kind of crazy. That was the first time I ever did that, for sure. And how'd that go over? Oh, great. I mean, it was like if you would have asked me like 2 years ago, oh, you're gonna have a party at like above a bar and you're not gonna have any alcohol there, like there's no way. You know, but it was like my choice. Yeah, it was like my choice. I was like, I'm not paying for people to like pour poison down their throat. Like, I just, I'm like, that's just stupid. I'm like, they could go somewhere else and do that, so it's like, I had no desire whatsoever, but it went great. A bunch of people showed up. I learned a lot about the catering industry, because we did it ourselves, but, had to feed all those people. So
right.
Cooked all the food right here. And me and Leah, we cooked everything here and took it down and had to order stuff. It was pretty crazy. Never did anything like that,
So you're getting ready to start a catering business? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
I learned enough about the catering business to learn that I don't want to do that. So,
right.
Yeah. But no, it was fun though. I really enjoyed it. And then, and I just been, playing golf like crazy. Like I talked about in the episode 12, I always played golf. I've been playing since I was 2, and weather's been nice, and I've been swinging a weed whacker all day long at work, just like a golf club. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm swinging a golf club all day at work. Want to get out there and just see, how I'd shoot, because at one point I actually was a scratch golfer, and, I knew I wouldn't be anywhere near that. So,
Hey, Steve, for the folks out there that don't play golf, what is a scratch golfer?
Scratch means that you shoot par. You should basically shoot par on any course that you play. Like, if it's, par 36, you should shoot like, 36. Right. You know what I mean? So, but, I know what it takes to get down to a scratch. It's it's a lot of work. And, so what I did was every day after work, I started hitting a bucket of balls, I parked my car and meet my boss driving again, parked my car at the golf place, and he drops me off there after work. And, I hit a bucket of balls every day, before I get my car and shake all the grass off of me while I hit a couple balls. And, I go home and try to get out and play as much as I possibly can. Leah doesn't really enjoy that too much, because I spend some money on it. But I know it's been doing great. Shot 81, I think was the last time I went out. That was an honest 81. I mean, my ball was laying in a divot. I hit it out of the divot. I didn't I put up an 81. It was a good, honest score, and I felt pretty confident with it. So I was.
What do you think about your game that you used to have that you think is progressing, quickly along, quicker than the rest of your game? What do you think?
You know what? The thinking part of the golf.
That's coming back.
Yeah. That's it's not even that it's coming back. It's that I never had it. Like I would always go out and play, and it was like basically a race against time before I got like too drunk and couldn't continue on. It's funny, but it's true. Like I get every time somebody says playing golf in my town here, they always say, "Oh yeah, but by the fifth hole he was blacked out in the cart," Yeah. But how is it now? I know you're getting into the thinking part. Is that the part where you're not drinking and you're thinking the end of the game from the beginning to the end? I actually am treating it like an athlete, like would treat like just like any other athlete would treat a sport. You know what I mean? I go out there and I eat right. When I go out to play, like I make sure I eat the right stuff. I'm stretching. I have a whole warm up routine. I hit like 100 balls at the range before I even go play 18 holes. You know what I mean? Like I'm out there just pissing around, just practicing chip shots and drives and stuff.
Yeah.
Just before I go out, and it just, so I'm nice and loose and warmed up, just to put up a good score. And, and I map out the course before I play it, like I have the whole round in my head, before I even go out there and play it. I'm like, okay, first hole, 7 iron, 9 should be 7 iron, 9 iron to the green. I want to be in the front of the green. I have the whole course in my head, before I'm going out and playing.
It sounds like you're setting up like a range card, man. Like you're using like old skills to get back in it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I actually was using a book I found that the NRA gave me or something like that, and it has every gun that you own, and you put like the serial number and all its information. Like I had that for like my golf clubs, like pitching wedge, 150 yards, I had that like kind of set up, and then I was kind of doing it for range cards for every golf course that I play. So I have them, in the back of my pocket. I could pull out like a range card, and I know at this rock I'm 137 yards to the center of the green, Well, dude, I was here last time.
Well, that's like your data book, man, with your sniper rifle.
Oh, exactly.
It's like every condition you could possibly be in, you have that data. Even if it's like, I don't feel that well, or you know what I'm saying? It's like not quite in it. This is what the data looks like.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good to have, even those bad days.
Yeah. Yeah. I like I said, I've been swinging a golf club since I was in diapers, and that's no shit. Like I got pictures to prove it. And I always had the swing, and I always had the game, but I never had the thinking. I never treated it like like an actual sport, and give it the respect. But yeah, so it's and I applied all the military stuff to it and everything. It helps out, and hopefully start putting up some better scores. So 81's like kissing your sister or something, you know what I mean?
Steve, so what's the next step, man, with the golf? Because obviously it's like if there's a veteran out there that works in their garage, building things with out of wood, fixing a car, whatever. What is is this just a hobby, or are you taking this, hoping to take this to the next level?
it's just basically how I've been living like my life, all the time now is just if I love it enough to where I do it to where I become good enough to be pro, then it'll just come naturally. And you know what I mean? Everything I do in my life, I do, I give it 100%, and I do it. And I just have the feeling that whatever I do, it'll just come naturally. Like I go to work, my job now, I cut grass. Most people, I don't say, I give people benefit of the doubt, but a lot of people would have probably went to this job and been like, oh man, cutting grass, like, this sucks, I made the best of it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the best grass cutter I could be, and I really did. I found out my job was just weed whacking all day long. So I watched YouTube videos and learned like weed whacker tricks and and turned it into an art form. And you know what? Like my boss, was so impressed, he and me and him, we talk about how he's ready to retire. And, you know what? Like he might want to, sell me the business, and it's like a serious thing, that me and Leah and him are actually talking about, and it's so, what? I'm just letting everything, just happen naturally. All my options are open. But whatever I do, I know I have the confidence, I know I'm going to excel at, I'm going to do good, but,
So how does all that, the good stuff coming your way now? A lot of people, you probably haven't seen it, but it's out there where you've got, somebody is recovering and they hit a patch of good times. It's not hard times. They hit a patch of good times where they get kind of, they get squirrely again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think the thing is to, how are you feeling with that now? Because I remember on the episode, you came on and you were like, every day is happy and I don't know what to do with it. How are you doing now, 2 months later, after saying that? How are you feeling now about, the good days every day? Have you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I could definitely handle it, now. It's still like that, but, I'm not as excited, it's more of I'm mellowed out about it, but it's definitely, it's still the same. I have bad days all the time, but I somehow still, I just turn them into good days. I just do. Me and my boss, we were at work and we got pulled over and, his tail lights weren't working on the trailer. And that was it. Our day was shot. We're on the side of a highway. I got a crowbar trying to get this tractor, loaded onto the back of a bed of a truck and all that stuff, and it's a pretty shitty day, but, you know what? I just made it we turned it into good. I had a talk, me and my boss, we talked him into, getting a new trailer and, we was like, hey, we're going to work to make it up and everything. We got through it and, it turned into a good thing. It was now we got we don't have to worry about nothing. We're back. We're making money. We're doing good, But, a lot of people that would have been it, but, it just turned into a good thing. Now I always tell them, I'm like, hey, 10 years from now, you'll be looking back, that'd be one of the happy times you're thinking back on, oh, remember when that trailer broke down and we got it fixed, I like the perspective, Steve, because,
a lot of the veterans out there, myself included, I have a hard time sometimes maintaining perspective.
Yeah.
I don't like to say it's like keeping score, but you kind of are. You're keeping it with yourself, though. It's like, I look at like all the combat situations that I've been in. There really isn't anything out here that's going to dial it up as high as that. So there really is no need for me to get too crazy over something, because in the end, as long as nobody dies, no one's hurt, no one's injured.
Yeah,
it's probably a good day.
Yeah, yeah. I see. It's gonna sound weird, but it's kind of like you see life as kind of like a game. It's like little challenges, and it's like, oh man, look, I bet you I could get it done. I bet you I could do it. And it's like almost like you want to like prove to yourself that you could do it. I'm like, it's crazy. It teaches you to keep like calm and cool about situations, and it works for me. I I don't know. Everything's kind of new. Like I said, still, everything's kind of like still fresh and new. I'm still trying to figure things out, but so far that mentality and that type of thinking, it's been working. So I've been sticking with it.
It's a good way to live, man. You have to have perspective. If we didn't have perspective, we would have knee-jerk reactions every single day to everything we came in contact with. Like you go out and you forgot your keys, and you get all the way to your car. Well, if you've done that one time, you're like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I walk back in to get my keys. But you flip out the first couple of times until you just kind of, it's not that big of a deal. Walk back in, get them, come back out, get in the car. Not a big deal. So yeah, but that's life though, man. You have to go through situations to be able to handle them. And I think the thing is now that you're off the booze, clean, your golf game, your life, your relationships, they're all, they're coming from your heart, and they're not muted in any way now. And you talked about your being involved in stuff, man. It's like that's kind of how you are though. Every time you got you get a hold of something, you do go into it max. Even your drinking. You can you can look at it that way, right?
Definitely. Like my girlfriend, she'll definitely be first one to tell you that. Like whenever I go into something, it's like, it's kind of like, oh my God, like, okay, everybody get out of his way. Like let him get this out of his system. Like anything, like woodworking. Like I did the woodworking. I was like, I needed a garage with every woodworking tool and every, and it's just how I am. I have to. My hobby is learning hobbies. Like that's, and I go head deep into them and come out and I either get bored with them or they just, they stay with me a little bit. But yeah.
So Steve, do you think that you go and you learn stuff, you master it to a certain degree, and then you're kind of like, I got that, and you just put it in your kit bag and you move on?
Well, I kind of like I basically try to learn something to the point that I know that, okay, I'm never going to master this, but at least I know that like what it takes to be really good at it, and then I kind of move on, it's just my way of like learning about stuff,
a doer instead of like a reader. Just jump in and do it. Learn as much as you can. I like that, man.
Yeah. It's kind of like jobs. Like when I got a job roofing, like I lived the life of a roofer. Like I'm at home watching documentaries about wood and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, almost like I'm doing like a role for a movie or something. Like I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a roofer. Like I throw myself into it, and I find I kind of have the ability to like do that with like any job that that I get. I always throw myself into it, and I kind of like love what I do. I try to always love what I do, like for work, but yeah, it's a great way to, live. I'm happy. You know what I mean? I ain't got a pot to piss in, like money wise, but you know what I mean? I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Will it come, man? You've had.
Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like
paying off a lot of stuff. You just got a house up and running.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Like just bills and, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I just, like I said, paying the house and the new car and all this stuff like that. And but I'm 100% happy. Like as long as I got money for like a Red Bull in the morning and, some beef jerky, like I couldn't be any happier. You know what I mean? And I'm on the golf course, just going at it.
So you're still if you have a rip it and an MRE, you're good. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm living basically like, I'm back in the tent in Afghanistan, like, but like I'm treating the world around me kind of like that. It's, working out, getting ready for the next mission. It's loved it. Loved it. Getting in shape. I work on my tan, getting in shape. You
got a farmer's tan, or what are you doing?
Oh no. No, I'm working on it.
That's funny.
I gotta get. Me and my girlfriend, we have a tanning competition going on. We do it every year, but it's funny. Whenever she falls asleep, like I put an umbrella over her so she don't get any sun.
That's
and
funny.
I creep over and. But we get mad at each other. I always catch her trying to sneak out there and but yeah, it's kind of it goes with the lifestyle, of a pro golfer, so I gotta have the tan. Can't be on the PGA Tour with like farmer's tan, sticking out.
Right. Well, Steve, we talk about here on the show after your episode, man. We started, every veteran that comes on, they bring more light to to the transition, more light to bringing the active duty, military member into the veteran population, where we have to somehow repurpose. The energy that we had, the focus that we had, the drives that we had. Now, we're talking about, golf and the range card. You could have just could have kept that knowledge to yourself and not applied it to anything. And you would have struggled to try to figure a way to do the same thing. But, you repurposed something that you already knew that had a different purpose. You brought it into something that was, personal, and it worked out. And the thing is, I think you're doing that with a lot of other things also. It's that you've got energy, man. You've got energy and focus.
Yeah.
And before it was focused in a different direction, and now you've got your attention focused on other things. And I'm telling you, man, you've made a lot of impacts in people's lives just off your episode. 400 downloads. People still talking about it. People still downloading it. So I know that just you alone out there, you're making changes in people's lives. Not just your episode, but you yourself. And that's a repurpose, man. That's just being engaging in life like you've always been.
Yeah. I like how I kind of put it all the time is. Kind of like for like the last 15 years, I felt like I had like a parachute on. You ever see the getting ready for like what is that, football and stuff? You're running with the parachute on.
Oh, the resistance, yeah,
the resistance chute or whatever. It's like I've had that on for like the last 15 years, and then all of a sudden, like that's gone. It's like somebody let me out of the cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? like Campanelli, he used to always say, I thought it was one of the funniest sayings ever. He'd say, he's like a science experiment when freakishly right. He goes, and then he would go, "Hey, Perchak, somebody let me out of the cage." You know, yeah. But I always loved that. You know, that came back to me. I was like, that's how I feel. You know, like I just feel like that's it. I'm out. Like, and it's just whatever I put my mind to, and whatever I set my sights on, it's like destroy. You know, and like go for it. You know, but.
Now, let me ask you this, brother. How is that affecting, the people around you, the people that you knew before? How is your new outlook on life and the way you're applying yourself into it? How is that affecting your relationships out there?
You know what? It's kind of like, old relationships. You know, like just kind of drift away because. You're not at the same places anymore, and you're doing different things, and you find out that a lot of people that you were real close to before, you really don't got much in common with anymore. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to talk to and stuff, and then then it's like other people that you never knew anything about, or you might have knew from who knows how long ago, my one buddy, Vasco, I rode a bus in grade school with him, and my other buddy, George, I think I saw him at a party once, back in high school, and, we're going out playing golf all the time, and, we're, talk it's good positive stuff. Yeah. We're talking about golf and doing film, movies and playing, going on vacations and canoeing and shit. It's like positive shit. We're not all talking about oh man, let's go down to Jim's bar,
yeah.
Sit there and cry into our beers all day. It's crazy. You know what I mean? There's people out there all around you that don't drink, don't do drugs, and lead really good, exciting lives. And they're all around you, but you just never seen them because you were always one of the drunk, fucked up people, walking around, so you never notice these people, but then when you're clear, you're like, oh man, this dude lives down the street and he's into old motorcycles, that's cool, and it's
absolutely.
And you're like, oh wow, and it's, you start I find myself actually getting involved in the community. Not because I kind of get up and I'm like, today, I told myself I was going to get involved in no, it's just it happens. Everything kind of just happens naturally. It's just kind of you know what? I want to find out more information about my house, so I go down here and then I get involved and there's all kinds of shit to do and around you. And, it's great. It's just, you can't see it. You can't show it to people and be like, oh, come here, and look, here's what it looks like, and then they say, oh yeah, well, I'm going to put down the bottle and I'm going to come hang out over here. It's it takes time, you gotta, that's the thing that sucks. It takes time and patience. You have to, go through the process of getting sober and letting the shit just kind of happen naturally, and it,
I think
that's the part
that's hard. That's hard for people.
Yeah, that's what people, they can't see it. So after I did my show, I can't tell you how many people got a hold of me.
Yeah.
Mainly 100% hammered, drunk. They get a hold of me and they're all upset and they you know, they're, oh, you're right. That's it. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit. You know, your episode did this. Your episode did that. And then you're like, oh, great. Then you're talking to them and they sound like they're doing good. But then, like, I don't send like a message back or something like that. And then next thing you know, like I'll see them and they're drunk, you know, and they're hammered drunk and they're going down the same old thing and they're doing messed up shit. And I see them all day walking past me and they're all messed up and stuff. I get this a lot. People will see me and kind of like duck around a corner. No shit. I'm gonna say, people always think I'm gonna say something to them like, oh, you gotta be drinking, and I'm not that person, you know what I mean? But it's funny, like I'll go around a corner and people see me be like, oh man, I don't want them to see me because I've been drinking all day. And I'm like, oh, you know, like, like it's cool, you know, but
well, I think, yeah, you know, I think everybody, man, even people in your own life, Steve, they've been just like others out there. You can say something to, you know, somebody you love. Like I've got a good friend, man, and he's going through some struggles, and I want to snatch him up and, you know, and put him on his feet. But the thing is, it's like you just be there for him, because at some point in time they're going to be like, you know, to themselves, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. I want to come back. And they do it. They take the steps that they need, and I think that's the important part for us to be there for that.
Yeah,
is when they get back up on their feet, or one foot on the ground and the other one's still kind of doing its own thing. That we're there to help them out, to be there for whatever they need. And I think that's the strong part of the show. I mean, I don't think people aren't listening to it and be like, you know, I now have an allergy to this, you know, just automatically. It takes some time, and it takes people getting back into their lives and like, you know, letting them know that, hey, whatever you're going through, man, it's not a big deal. We're here for you. You know, get through your stuff, man, because we're here. We're having a good time. And, you know, and the positive message that you're putting out there, man, that there is a life without booze, and you're, you know, in it.
There's definitely a life, and it's like way better. Like it's so much better that I don't know. It starts to like, I had to learn to be the type, you know, I'm not going to tell anybody, you know, oh, you need to quit drinking, do that. Like I said that right off the get-go. Like as soon as I stopped drinking, like I was like, oh, I am never going to tell anybody, like you, or point a finger or anything like that. I joke about it all the time with people. I always say, you know what I always said, you booze, you lose, you know, but I never said that. You know, all my friends, you know, I always act real uppity when my friends talk about alcohol and stuff. I go, oh, you know, the devil's nectar, you know, you know, but you know, I'm not one to point at anybody and tell them, oh, you gotta, you know, stop and everything. And but I don't know, I'm rambling, but it's
you're good, man. You're good. No, yeah, I get that, man. You know, it was the same way when I kind of, you know, when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of stayed away from people that drank because I just didn't want to be there. And then it kind of got into, you know, I don't go to bars because I know, you know, it's going to be awkward. You know what I mean? Two different levels of fun are going to be happening at the same time, and they typically don't work out well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like drunk people and, you know, somebody that's just chilling. It's a different world. So I try to stay away from it until I figured it out, you know, what that balance is, and I can be around it and still have a good time. So it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Like of course, like, you know, I went to like 4th of July parties and stuff like that. There's drinking around and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
You know, it's like I'm with like family, you know, and it's not the kind of drinking where, you know, you got some guy who just lost his job, pissed off across the bar, you know, just looking for a fight or something, you know. You know, like, you know, and it's just, you know, you're in a bad area and stuff. I mean, everywhere you go, you're going to be around drinking, you know, so it's, hell, I was bartending. What the hell was it? A couple weeks ago. You know,
you're testing your limits, aren't you?
Oh no, I've bartended. Oh geez, I'm down there helping out and stuff like that, on and off. That doesn't bother me at all. When I first stopped drinking, there was like a case of beer that sat in my fridge from like a previous party, and it sat in the fridge for like, I don't even know, like 3 months. Like, so the whole time, like it was just in the fridge, and I knew it was there. Everybody knew it was there. And I never once even, every time I opened up the fridge, it was right there. And I just never touched it. It was, once I got over like that initial hump of like alcohol,
mm-hmm.
It was almost like it kind of made me sick even to be around it. Like, I was kind of glad that case of beer was in the fridge, because it was like, oh God, like I opened up the fridge and it would just be like, whoa. And then like I would see like commercials on TV where they're pouring like whiskey, and I would just get that feeling like in my thing, and I'd get sick. That went on for like a while. It still goes on today. Something like I'll be sitting somewhere and you know, like at a party or something like that, and somebody will smell like alcohol or something like that, and I'll smell like Jaeger or some kind of sweet booze, and like I start gagging. Like,
dude, it's almost like you put yourself through Clockwork Orange conditioning. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing where you get like completely nauseous from it.
Yeah, I was a teenager in the 90s. I watched Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it does. It just makes me physically ill to be around it. I don't like going into bars. I don't. My local bar down the street, like I said, my uncle he runs the place and everything else like that. So I stop in there. Like I said, we threw the graduation party upstairs.
Yeah,
it's like a church bar function hall thing, kind of like American Legion type thing. But yeah, like I go down the steps and sometimes I'll get like a smell of, you know, and I'll remember that smell of like going down there like shit drunk, you know, and it just it gives me like chills. Like I know everybody hates, you know, you're not supposed to say this and stuff like that, like, oh, you know, and everybody says, but I really don't ever see myself going back to the alcohol. Like, it never would happen. If anything, I would have to worry about finding something else, you know, to get addicted to, but never alcohol. It makes me, you would have to literally hold me at gunpoint to get me to take a drink. And on a mental kind of thing too, it's just like it means too much to so many people. You know what I mean? Like that, once I got over a certain point too, like I started realizing like, oh, you know, this thing is kind of bigger than me now. You know, like I definitely can't screw up now. You know, like
when
that.
When you throw your daughter into the mix, man, and your and your girl and your, you know, and your folks, you know, your folks aren't getting any. They're not getting younger, man.
Right.
You know, you want to be there for them, you know, 100%. And and that's the thing, man. You're there now. It's
it does. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. Like, and then it gets to the point like you're like, oh, like I would never even dream of doing anything like that now. You know, it would be way too, you know. But you know, it's sometimes some like weird things happen. Still, this is kind of a funny story. I was driving to work the other day and I had like a Starbucks coffee in a can type thing. You know, it was kind of like the same size of like a pounder beer, you know?
Yeah.
And I was driving to work and I was sipping the coffee, and I passed a cop and I got like scared. Like, and I got like real, like how I used to, and I got like real scared and like went to put it down in the cup holder, and I was like looking in my rear view mirror, and then it hit me. I was like, for one, if the cop pulled me over, the one thing he knows I ain't doing is drinking, because I got tubes coming out of my dashboard and all kinds of stuff I got to breathe into before I even go near the car.
Yeah.
I got cameras on me all the time when I drive my car. But it was just a habit to just, be
Stated,
like, oh, cop, putting it.
Stated learning, man.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Well, hey, Steve, I've got something to throw in front of you. If you've got some veterans out there, where are you located in Pennsylvania? I've got 5 places I'm going to rattle off to you, and you tell me what you're close to. But Butler.
Okay. Oh yeah, I work in Butler.
Okay, Butler has a teamriverrun.org. They've got a it's all kayaking, man. They take veterans out on these kayak trips. Dude, they took check this out. They took in September of last year. They took 5 blind veterans on a guided kayak tour, the Colorado River into the Grand Canyon for 12 days.
Oh, is it called Canyon Heroes?
No, teamriverrun.org.
Okay.
I would challenge you, man, that if you got some veterans out there that could use, another outlet, like you found golf, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you meet any veterans out there, man, that could need something, and just from experience that they like to kayak or they'd be open to it, this is a good organization for you to send them to, man. There's a lot of community going on with this group, a lot of healing, and especially with all this rain we've gotten, there's plenty of opportunities to get out there and float a little bit. So think about that, man. We're going to be doing an episode with them, so we'll get some more information out there. But for your area, like I said, you've got 5 different chapters that look like they're running pretty. They're running pretty strong.
Yeah, Butler. I cut grass in Butler like every day. Yeah, it's right up the road from me. That's probably about 10 miles from me, maybe 15. Yeah,
Jim,
right up the road. I used to play Butler Golf Course. I was like one of our big rivals on a whole high school golf team.
Jim Barker and Jeremy Vinatieri are the coordinators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, that would
definitely have to get a hold of them, and we'll set something up.
I'll send you that information, man. But no, if you got some veterans out there that could use something, man, you could guide them to it. You could get a little. You can get some kayaking in on your own. Yeah,
because I got involved with something like that maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was called Canyon Hero, or Canyon Heroes or something. And they were doing that. And me and the guy that I actually talked about in there, Andy, we were scheduled to go. Like, we had our plane tickets. We had to pay like a $200 deposit. And they were taking us to the Grand Canyon. We were going to paddle down and stuff like that. And this is no shit. We actually decided like not to go because we weren't like sure about like how we were going to get booze on the on the raft, and like we weren't like real sure how much money we was going to have to drink on like the whole time we were there. So we just didn't go on the trip. Like that, I mean, that's like insane now. It was like a whole paid week going down into the Grand Canyon and stuff. We just didn't go.
Well, here's the thing, man. People have to realize at some point in time that, there are things that we do that we think are good in our life that they take away from, the enjoyment and engagement of it. I mean, that would have been like, have you been to the Grand Canyon before?
Yeah. I went when I was like 18.
Did you float on it?
No.
Yeah. You missed,
I
you missed
in
that.
the back of a 92 Dodge Intrepid, like looking out the window.
Yeah.
Waiting to go to the bar, like down the road, probably.
I think you're going to get out there, man. I think you're going to make that up. I think you will. I think you will. You're knocking off. If you don't have a bucket list, man, I think it's kind of like in you. You're just knocking it out. You'll hit that.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely do. I definitely. I don't have a bucket list because I don't plan on ever dying. I'm immortal. Remember Highlander?
Right.
But yeah, we don't die. But no. Yeah, I've been knocking all kinds of shit out. I got like all kinds of stuff planned. I want to put a trailer hitch on the back of my car so that I can have like one of those crazy pop-up tents.
Yeah.
They make these amazing tents now, and they're really not like that expensive, but they make them with like solar panels.
Yeah.
That you can run like charge all your devices and stuff, and it's up off the ground with like a ladder. And yeah, I want to do that so I could do some traveling and see some cool stuff. I want to go to Gettysburg real bad.
Gettysburg's nice.
Man, I've driven through it maybe once or twice. It's like a 4-hour drive, I think, for me, maybe 3. But yeah, I've never really done it, and I've always wanted. I'm real into history and everything. Yeah, I definitely want to drive out there and do that. But yeah, I was seeing about the other. What's the one guy's? Something Jungle.
Breach Bolt Jungle.
Breach Bolt Jungle. Yeah.
You've been listening to it?
Yeah. When I went to go on it, it wasn't out yet. Like I was like waiting for it, like all the way up until 4th of July. Like when I found out about it, I was so excited, and I kept checking it. And I'm not real good with the kids and the technology and all that stuff. No, I was like, oh, why can't I listen to it? Why can't I see nothing? And then I was like, oh, it comes out on the 4th of July. And then I was just so swamped with 4th of July and stuff. And I actually haven't even like thought about it. And then until we were talking about it now, that's why I was trying to remember the name of it. I was like, oh, what's the name of the thing I wanted to listen to?
Dude, jump on there because Chris and Justin opened up, they do a Monday episode called Legends. And man, it's dynamic and it's dramatic, dude. And they talk about like just war heroes, man, like the unsung ones, like people that have like obscure like records, dog fights, like throwing a hand grenade like a mile and shit that's never happened before, but it like knocked out like 4 pillboxes. The kind of stuff that's like legend, you know what I mean? Lore. He's bringing that stuff out, man, and it's exciting stuff. It's exciting.
Kind of like the Carlos Hathcock shot through the scope. Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's I was been really excited about that, and then, like I said, I got so many irons in the fire. But,
it happens, man. The nice thing about the podcast is they're always there. You can always go back and binge. If you wait a little while, you'll be able to binge it. So. Yeah,
that's kind of what I do. I sit back, and then all of a sudden there will be like a rainy day, and everybody's everybody's out of the house. I got the house to myself, nothing to do, and then I kick them on, and I just start listening to them all.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right, Steve.
Like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I like some podcasts, man. It gives me helps me out. Well, hey, brother. Hey, we're running up on that time, man.
All right.
I'm glad you came on, brother. And I'm glad, once again, we're back to chit-chatting. I like getting your videos of your golf swing. And it's always good. I need to get out there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I put it on YouTube.
Yep.
Because I like the YouTube. I'm good at using that.
If your videos get better, man, I'll start linking them to the page.
Well, you know what? I was going to get... I'm actually using my golf bag to set it up, but I actually got like a little stand, and my phone, I'm just waiting for it to finally die so I could go get my new one. Yeah. I'm stubborn. And and then as soon as I get one, I'm going to get one with like a good camera and stuff, and then I'm going to start working. Then me and my one buddy have been talking about getting into filming people's swings because I know kind of like what to look for to make a good golf swing, and he's really good at doing his video, documentary stuff. So I was like, man, why don't we film swings, and like that way we could show people exactly what they're doing wrong, and kind of setting it up. But
well, hey, if you guys start that up, man, as like a little side business, make sure you let us know so we can promote it for you.
Yeah, I want to see your swing too. Yours could be the first swing we work on.
It's impossible to see, dude. There's so much glory behind it. The aura.
I just imagine like a bald eagle flying out of the
picking the ball up and dropping it off for me.
Yeah, an American flag like flies with stars like behind the ball, as it flies down the fairway.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Steve.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. And once again, I'm glad we're hooked back up, brother. And I love you to death, man. You're out there rocking and rolling, and leading the way, man. Leading the way.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We'll have you back on. I want you to work on like a 10-minute comedy bit that you would use down at the comedy store. I don't think of anything as work. I love everything I do. Well, no, think of. I remember you talked about you like doing comedy, stand up.
Yeah.
So if you can think about stand up with the work that you're doing, bring it on the show, man. Bring it on the show. We'll give you a whole episode, man, to just crack people up.
Oh, I have. I always keep coming up with ideas and stuff like that, and I write them down and everything like that. But I'm definitely going to get on it. So.
Well, you're a busy man. I don't want to throw too much stuff on you, but it would be fun. I think people will enjoy it.
I got it. I can handle it. I'm pretty good.
Yeah. All right, brother. We will catch up with you later. And
all right.
Once again, it's good talking with you, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, brother. Hey, everybody. Hey, thanks for listening to the episode today. It's great to have Steve on. He's out there doing good things for himself, for other folks. Hey, this Friday for the Saga episode, we've got Lieutenant Derek Knapp. He was a platoon leader in Baker Company 212 in the Korengal. He's going to come on and tell us about his military experience and what he's doing now. Down there in Restoration Ranch, equine therapy that they're using for veterans and their families. It's going to be an amazing episode, folks, so stick around for Friday's episode. And once again, like, share, comment, and everybody just keep having an amazing time out there and enjoy life. All right, everybody stick with it, and we'll catch you Friday. All right, out. Yeah, that's right. Part of a volunteer.